I want to ask you guys, what do you feel about what I'm doing? What's your opinion?
I appreciate it, man. I mean, I think you're genuine. I think you're doing what you believe to be right, and I think it's making a difference.
You really believe it's making a
I do.
difference?
Absolutely.
That was my goal. As long as I make a difference, then up there.
I mean, thank God you're doing something like this, and that somebody has the guts to step up and do it. I mean, I think that we entered into this trusting that we were going to be treated fairly and told the truth.
Yep.
And the more that we hear, I mean, not even from you, but our own research. It's not, I mean, we're not in this position to help you, to help ourselves through you, or anything like that. It's just what we have, putting the pieces together. You have pieces of the puzzle, and we do too. And now we understand that was never, or don't feel that was ever the intent, to be treated fairly or be told the truth. So at first I thought you were a little nuts. I have to say, by ENBRIDGE, yeah.
So you thought I was a little nuts because
nuts.
I was coming forward and saying that they told us to cover up oil and
and I thought, well, I don't know that that's necessarily the right way to go about it. I mean, everybody's an opportunist. I mean, what the spill happened, and there were tons of law firms here within days sending letters to other residents, and we're not litigious people. I mean, we truly aren't. I mean, I understand that, mistakes are made, whatever. But then, as the pieces started all falling into place, I became incredibly appreciative of people like you. I remember actually, because I talked to Sarah Lambert, was it?
Mm-hmm.
From the Inquirer, after an article that she had written about ENBRIDGE's altruism in the Marshall community. And I couldn't, clearly I like to talk, and so I also like to write. So I typed a letter that said, look, I understand, and this is great. They should be doing this. But do you understand that there are residents out here quietly suffering? We're not the ones, I think I actually said, we're not the loudmouths like John at the meetings. But that was before.
I had to do that.
Of course you did, and I'm
to.
so appreciative that you did, because
it wasn't easy.
When you try to go through power channels and
I've been to every county commissioner meeting. I've been to all the city council meetings. I've talked to the mayor. I've went all the way to the governor and congressmen and senators. And I'll tell you what, I am getting more done on a YouTube video than these videos are very powerful.
And I think it's awesome that you're taking the time, because, again, as much as we want to be told the truth and treated fairly, I don't know that we have the resolve to do what needs to be done. I mean,
with full-time jobs and raising
three kids, there's no way
this is the thing.
And that's just it. I think they try to. They know that, and now we feel very taken advantage of for being for our character, for them taking advantage of the character that we are and what we try to teach our children. That you take responsibility for your mistakes, and you're truthful with people, and you operate by all means owning up to your responsibilities above all else. And it's impossible to explain to them why
if
we're not being taken care of and being treated fairly.
Right.
Do you think that they are banking on you either running out of steam or if you're going to misstep? I mean, if you do as much as you're doing, you're going to misstep, and then they have something?
I try to be honest, because if they prove me wrong one time, let's say I poured some oil and...
Yeah, but so you have to work harder at being more truthful than they do?
Oh, definitely. Big time. Because that's why I got to take the press out with me and take different people out with me, because some people still don't believe my videos. I mean, we have local people here in Battle Creek that don't believe that this is going on and think I'm a fake. And I have to be extra honest and extra. That's why I always have my video camera when I go onto a site, because ENBRIDGE will say anything, and if they think a camera's on, then I can protect myself.
Yeah.
So. Well, did you know that BP and ENBRIDGE have a $2 billion contract to transport BP oil through ENBRIDGE pipe?
That doesn't surprise me.
This is a BP oil spill, not an ENBRIDGE oil spill.
It came out of the tar sands in Canada. That's all British. That's all BP.
BP does not want people to know that, because they already have a bad rep in the Gulf. And if you now say that the largest Midwest oil spill was from BP. I mean, 2 spills in a few month period. That's huge. So ENBRIDGE has did everything in their power not to talk about BP or bring up their name in any way.
Kind of absorbing the shock of it all because, I mean, up until this, ENBRIDGE didn't, I mean, they hadn't had a great record by any means. But
Well, 7 million gallons of oil has been spilt by ENBRIDGE in the last 10 years.
see, and I just don't understand, you know, and okay, we, you know, there's the side of it that, you know, we as a society, you know, sort of support this
We want
big
cheap
oil thing. We want cheap oil. We want, you know, we want our vehicles that don't get the best gas mileage, whatever. It what it comes down to is the responsibility of fixing a mistake and fixing it correctly and telling me the truth. You know, and
True.
I mean, the damage, by the time we entered into the home buyout program, I mean, I think we can talk about that, and we're not now, but although we didn't get the amount to pull out by any means, but because we were, you know, that didn't apply to us because we were too far from the river again. But
you were, what, how many feet from the oil?
well,
From the
it
sheen
cooled on our property.
From the sheen on the water, it was 40 feet from the back of our house.
All right, so we're talking, let's say you were well within 200 feet of where oil reached. I know because I work back there.
Yeah, ENBRIDGE there's a stake 70 feet off the back of our property where they actually found
Oil.
deposits.
So that means that they broke their own rules. Even though it was a mandatory 1,000-foot evacuation that they've lied to everybody about, they still broke their simple 200-foot rule that they lied to everybody about the first time, and now they're lying to you, saying you're not part of that.
Well, if it was 200 feet, I mean, again, I know we talked about them not owning the property, my parents' property.
Are you afraid your kids might get cancer now from being around this?
I'm very afraid.
What do you have to say to ENBRIDGE about that?
I really hope they keep up with the well testing. I hope they make this right. I hope they protect the people whose lives they have disrupted. Thinking about the hell that I went through, I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. Thinking that my children might have to go through that someday because of negligence, because they put profit above safety, is absolutely ridiculous. And I know that they have shareholders that they want to pay.
Well,
that's what they're in business for. But if I were a shareholder of ENBRIDGE and I knew what was going on, I would sell it no matter how profitable it was because of the way they've treated the people.
Right, and this ain't even ENBRIDGE money. This is insurance money that's being spent.
Yes.
ENBRIDGE has no part in any of the money that's been spent so far. They just paid their premiums, and $650 million is paid by the insurance company. And as far as I'm concerned, ENBRIDGE has committed insurance fraud so many times because they clean up an area half-ass, and then they got to go back and re-clean it because I proved there's a lot of oil there.
I can tell you how many times they opened and reopened the sites down the road, right?
No, they closed everything last fall. As soon as you started coming out with the videos and people really started paying attention and you got a few folks to listen, they opened them back up. Then they closed them again. Then, for some reason, we start seeing cars and trucks again, and they open them back up.
Do you think so? You think that has any? I had something to do with that.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Little old me. So when
You're so modest.
so when ENBRIDGE says that I have not had any effect on their cleaning efforts or the EPA, when they say that, what do you have to say to them?
On construction, multiple mobilizations cost a crap load of money. The more times you mobilize, the more money it costs. If you're in, you do the job and you get out, and I'm sure that these folks know that. They're a very successful company.
Yeah.
So you think they left lots of areas and knowing that it was still full of oil, and then after I videotaped it and proved it and went to the press, they were forced to go back?
I believe so.
Well, I mean, if for no other reason than to look like they're vigilant.
Well,
even if it was just a show, I think it has had an effect.
Sure, and just like the swamp down here that they just, I call it the swamp, everybody. And if you watch that video, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it's half-ass clean. It's not done. They just let water back in there. They built a dam, dug out part of it, and then left oil, and then they'll let the water back in. So now when I go out there and prove there's more oil at a later date, they will probably say that it came from somewhere else. I don't know what they'll say, but they always try to make up excuses. Did you ever see me on Channel 3 News where I fell in the oil?
Yes, I saw that.
And what did you think about John? That's his name, the guy that's running this area now for ENBRIDGE. What do you think about him saying that that was not oil and that was mud? It's John Bolenbaugh. I'm with Channel 3 News. This is our local station. And thank God they came out here to document that this oil is being left here at Talmadge Creek. This is Talmadge Creek right here, all along here. This is oil that they have not got out of here. Gee. Watch this. Can you see this? You see that shake? This is oil. It's all through here. And it's all over in this spot over here. And it's all along the other side too. But I'm just going to show you. I'm just sinking in. Aaron, could you videotape this for me? Could you just hold it? Can you catch it?
Yeah, I can catch.
Not mud. If it was mud, it would be froze. This entire area, ENBRIDGE is left. The oil. It's just full of oil everywhere. Please make them clean this up. I'm begging you. It's going to kill all of our animals. It's going to get in our wells. We cannot allow this to happen. Well, I hope that's good enough footage.
Yeah, that's.
I told you I had good. I did walk on that, and I was supported at first because that canvas is, it's got water about a ½ inch thick stuck to it, and I actually walked over the top of that. Channel 3 didn't show that. Then I took and I cut a hole with a ice chipper around in a circle, and then I just jumped in and went down to my waist. So the water did support me. So when he says, "Oh, well, that's water," water was frozen. Water did support me.
Yeah.
And then I fell into saturated oil mixed with mud. I just thought that was funny. Everybody thinks that's funny.
Well, and I mean, if it would have just been mud, it would have been more frozen. It wouldn't.
I would have
It was
never.
all black. They never would have backfilled with 5 feet of topsoil.
No, yeah. That's
Right.
We've
Oh.
already proved that they're kind of cheap.
Yeah,
so
right.
that costs too much money, man.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the